All right, guys, I've drank the Kool-Aid. I'm now an Arch Linux user. I've told my wife that I have my virginity back, so she'll be able to claim me first. I kind of want to go over what made me switch from macOS to specifically Omarchy. Yes, I am a big DH fan. I love his passion. I love how extreme he is with things. I think he's great for the community. So the thing that got me to switch from macOS to Omarchy was this. I play Magic the Gathering, and they have these secret layer drops. They're parachute products that they use to, make a cool set every once in a while, and then they use it to buff Hasbro's stock because other products didn't do so well. And so to get a secret layer, there's a queue. And so the queue on macOS, I run like 8 queues trying to get the product because it's all RNG. And it crashed my M1 MacBook. I was like, this is 8 queues. This is crazy. So it was right when Omarchy was starting to get big, so I fired up Linux. I got Omarchy installed. I did a secret layer drop, and guess what? I had like 30 windows running, and it was like 1% of my CPU. And so that's when I was like, man, all this like AI crap that they're pushing on macOS, macOS itself hasn't improved at all. Like I just keep finding tools to replace things on the operating system. So I was like, why not just get rid of macOS altogether, ascend, reclaim my virginity, and just use a real operating system for me. So now we're here with Omarchy. So let's just go over real quick the things already that I kind of like and don't like about the operating system, but overall we're moving forward with it. So the good, number one, the system's so much more performant. That's what we've already talked about with the secret layer example. Everything on this is running way faster, faster terminals, faster web browsers, just at faster code editors. I'm trying to switch to NeoVim. I'm fully drinking the Kool-Aid on this. So as a developer, all the programs are exactly what I'm looking for. So you can find whatever you want, and you can use whatever you want. So they have, Walker, Waybar, Hyperland, all these things do the things that I want, and if they don't, I can configure them or change something about it and make it what I want. The operating system as a whole is just, it's made for you having whatever you want. Now, DHH and his team did a ton of pain for getting an Arch set up into the state that it's in, but it's set up to where you can take over and set up your own files to, just run one install script and override everything back to whatever you want on a fresh install. It's really easy. So that's what point number 3 is. This is something I've been wanting with macOS. I've been wanting to be able to make an install script for all my programs, run one command, clone my repo that has all my settings on it, run one command. And the next thing I know, I'm just back to where I was on any other machine. So I really love this about switching to Linux. Windows management tools are superior. We mentioned this with Hyperland. Loving it so far, making me way more focused and intentful on the windows that I open and the tools that I use. Turning web pages into apps. So this is great. I love it. So you can just kind of hit, the spotlight feature on Omarchy and just, type in YouTube, and it's a window that's just YouTube, or type in GitHub and it's just GitHub, or like I sell a lot of cards on eBay, so I can make one where it's just eBay and it goes straight to my store, right? So, and it's its own dedicated window just for that. So I really like that feature too. System-wide hotkeys are easy configurable. So this is kind of going to flow into the bad. Like I didn't really like their default keys, so I switched it. But it's just great where you kind of need to control your operating system with hotkeys. So you're forced into this, and it makes everything so much faster and slicker. So I really like that. Number 7, can't install League of Legends. Really, this should be number 1 on my list. Like, thank you for having Windows level anti-cheat, macOS level anti-cheat on League of Legends, so now I can't play that game anymore and just waste my time and get mad at all my teammates. Conversely, Steam on Linux is amazing. So all the work that Steam has done for getting, what are they called? Steam Decks. All the work that Steam's done for getting Steam Decks working, and those are running Linux, has now flown over to the rest of the Linux community. So I can, they've already set it up. The March team already set it up to where you have Steam running, and you can play all your games. I just recently played an old MMO. Well, it's a new MMO called Monsters and Memories, and it's only for Windows, but you just load it up on here and point it at Steam, and it runs everything just fine. And number 9, my favorite part about this, no AI automatically installed on my machine to slow it down. I'm going to use AI how I want to use it. And now that we're in the Linux world, it's a lot easier to run things closer to metal, get the LLMs that I want, run them how I want to run them, and turn them off and on when I want. I don't have to be at the whim of Mac OS, and I don't use Windows, but even that, like just putting AI bubbles on everything and just taking over your machine and giving you a bunch of crap you don't want, right? So we did the good first, we can do the bad. So control as a modifier key is just terrible. So I had to fix this. One thing I do like about Mac, so I started out on Windows, I learned to code on Linux, and then once I got a job, they all give you MacBooks. Mac has converted me to the button next to the space bar being the modifier key. So control feels terrible. I really like this. I call it code on mine, but I think it's the command key on Mac. But having that key, being able to come into Linux and easily switch these and set up all my keys and how I want them to be, that goes in the good. So, but the default ones are just terrible. So I had to remap all the settings for the hotkeys. The next thing, this is just a Linux thing in general. Like, since control is the modifier key, you lose copy and paste in terminals because, control C is the escape command in the terminal. But I was able to, because you can do whatever you want on these things, switch my copy and paste, like I was saying, to the command key, which I guess is Alt normally. So switching control and Alt, and then having Control C still be that escape key, and now I get terminal copy and paste with the Mac hotkey setup. So just having this by default, I don't know why. And some some terminals don't even let you change that, which is crazy. So that's why we're on Ghosty. The system does hang and need to restart often. Often would be like sometimes every couple days, sometimes once a week. So I have had it where it's just like things have gone just bogged down and I just have to restart the computer. But the good side of this too, though, is I installed this on an old MacBook, like a 2015 MacBook. This is the first time I tried out on Marchi and that, and it worked. My computer didn't feel slow at all. So the operating system's coming a long way. I think Marchi will just keep getting better and better, and this won't be a bad too long anymore. The real bad one here, number 4, again, this should be moved up to number 1, kind of like how League should be moved up, is that now I want a new desktop computer. I was so happy with my M1, and I was like, I'm just going to use a laptop forever. And now I'm doing this, and I'm homebrewing my LLMs, and I'm doing setting up all these other servers, and I'm like, I just need a new desktop computer. And of course, we're all getting really pinned down by all these big tech companies buying up all the hardware and making deals, and now is the worst time ever to build a new home computer. Number 5, here we go. Marchi doesn't work on M MacBooks yet. I know they're working on it. Some people have some workarounds, but it's not like out of the box yet. I do like the M1 computer, the laptop. I like the way it feels. I like the keyboard. I like the screen. I like, the battery's good. I would totally install a Marchi on my M1 MacBook if it worked out of the box. Anyway, I've just been rambling. This is all here so that my wife doesn't have to hear me talk about these things. She has no clue what any of this is. So I'm just kind of screaming into the void until someone answers back, just because I want to save my wife from having to listen about this stuff.